The most important issues affecting CTV today for OpenX and for the buyers that we're talking to, as well as publishers, it's transparency. So last year at Beet, we announced our TV by OpenX product. And in essence, what that initiative was to clean up biddable CTV. The first step of that was removing resellers and any unintentional inventory from our CTV offering. Last year, when we were talking about TV by OpenX during Beet, we didn't have a ton of case studies and we didn't have a lot of data to show the value that we were bringing to the market. For us, it's really exciting to be able to talk a little bit about that this year and some of the wins that we've been able to provide to both the buy side as well as the publisher side. So since doing so, our publishers actually have increased their monetized impressions by 22%. And I think that's really interesting, but I would say the other area that's really interesting about this too is that we haven't actually seen an increase in CPM. It's remained relatively flat when it comes to the buy side. So we're able to monetize more impressions for publishers. And for us, that's truly incremental monetization because we're bringing revenue to them that they weren't typically seeing through their standard PG, PMP, like upfront buys. So we're really excited to be able to talk to both the buy side and the publisher side about the ways that TV by OpenX has and will continue to drive more value for them.
What are some of the key themes you're excited to bring up at Beet Retreat?
Yeah, the key themes that I'm excited to talk about at Beet Retreat this year doesn't actually change very much from last year. I think we heard a lot about advanced targeting, closed loop measurement. And I would say that's still the conversation that we're hearing a lot about in market. CTV is continuously evolving, but there's still gaps in what people are expecting when they think about other programmatic media channels. So for us, I'm really excited to also showcase some of the work that OpenX is doing by ingesting audiences and converting those into deal IDs. And that starts by our TV by OpenX offering. So for us, if we have clean, transparent, and trustworthy supply within the exchange, people do have the ability to buy CTV in a way that they haven't historically done because of fear of buying unintentional inventory, showing up on a mobile app instead of on a seat or on the big screen. So paired with our access to that premium supply, plus our ability to ingest and target first-party audiences, I think is bringing a new buying methodology to buyers, and again, bringing more monetization and incremental revenue for our publishers.
Are there any types of innovations or formats that are exciting you now or coming down the pike?
So some of the things that the innovative formats that are exciting us, I think it is probably something that doesn't sound overly sexy on paper, but I think it's something that's incredibly important to transparency in CTV. And that is content signals within CTV. So we actually saw that throughout our time that we saw over 11 million variations of genre alone within coming from publishers. So we went through a big initiative to help clean that up. So we've heard from buyers that they really want the transparency to understand what they buy. And for us, that's starting with content objects and content signals. So they're all basically, if you look at publishers, SSPs, DSPs, and even buyers, they're all working off of different taxonomies, and there hasn't been any sort of standardization, which causes huge problems. And I would say the biggest problem is 11 million different ways that a supply partner might be categorizing content signals. So we went through a big initiative to actually look at those 11 million different variations of genre, normalize them, and we created nine categories and 120 subcategories for targeting. This is actually allowing the buy side to have a lot more transparency. But I think some of the areas that are also really important to talk about is the value that it's bringing to publishers. So we actually saw that when a publisher is passing a content object, there was an 11% increase in their CPMs and 609% increase in DSP's bid rate when a content object was actually was being passed. So we see content object as a huge way for publishers to monetize their supply more, for buyers to be able to buy with transparency and confidence, and DSPs to also be able to bid more heavily in CTV.